What's up, Big Bear Nation? Welcome back to the homestead. So I came to take a peek on our khaki Campbell, and so far it looks like she's gonna sit on these because I just came over here just to check on her and she puffed all up. So I feel like she's gonna be protecting these eggs. So mark your calendars. In about a month, maybe, just maybe, we'll have some baby ducklings running around. And it'll be interesting to see what they look like, because the males that I have are like a white pekin and a Muscovy. So see what that's gonna turn out to be. So I just checked on the mama bantam. She still has all 10, so guess we'll just let her stay with these babies. So we're halfway through April and there's a lot of stuff that needs to get done. And we've kind of been waiting on a few things to happen before we could do them. So I'm sitting here just trying to think about what things we need to get done and kind of priorities and what has to happen first. One of the first things that right off the rip that I can think of is something more permanent for our chickens. Now in the past we had the chicken coop that was predator resistant. We had set up rain catchment systems so that we could have automatic watering, and that was great. But when Freckles got loose, he really tore up the outer fencing, and so we had to move chickens out of there, and it's outlived its purpose. So that's coming down. But for a more permanent solution, you know, we were using these Suscovich tractors, and I like them a lot. I like the versatility of being able to move them, and they're not super heavy. One of the things that I would do differently if I was going to rebuild them would be to put a wider rope, because the thinness of the rope that we have, it feels like it's cutting into my back every time I move them, so that's not pleasant. We are considering a more mobile type of chicken coop. Now we had thought about doing permanent coops, but the more that we think about it, the more it makes sense for us to be a little bit more mobile. So we're looking at more of a modified chickshaw kind of design, so that we'll be able to kind of move these guys around the property, because we do have a lot of areas where we can still move the chickens and not have them like bear out the ground as if we were, you know, if we were gonna have a permanent coop. That's what happens. Over time, they just scratch the ground bare. So to avoid that, we're gonna go to a more mobile style with electric fencing and be able to kind of bounce these guys around. Also having to do with the chickens, another thing that I need to come up with is a brooder set up for the summer. I have all of these chicks that are hatching out here in the springtime, and as it gets warmer, it's harder to maintain the temperature in the seed room. So I want to have some kind of a brooder that I can put outside and still keep them warm, or warm enough, but not have them be inside and panting all the time. So right now I have a couple of babies that have already hatched in the incubator, and I'll show you those in a minute. But we have all of those other chicks that are in there, and I'm getting ready to start moving them out, but we have more chicks coming from McMurray in a couple of weeks, and so I want to make sure that we're prepared for those. So I think that's probably going to take priority before anything else. Now, one of the things I had mentioned earlier was I have some broilers that I got from Tractor Supply back when the whole craze was going on where you couldn't get your hands on any birds. So I caved and bought those just so we would get a jump start on our meat production. So there's about 17 of them in there, and they've pretty much outgrown the brooder that they're in. So it's time to bring them outside, but we still have some of these rainy nights and nights that are in the 40s, but Jason assures me they are fully feathered out. They're pretty decent sized birds. They'll be okay. So we're gonna take the leap of faith on that, and until we can get some of those chickshaws built, I'm thinking of taking one of these Siskovich tractors and consolidating all of these guys into the other one, and then put the broilers in here. The problem with that is I have several roosters. And while I'm not ready to start culling them, I think what I'm gonna end up doing is turning them loose on the property and just see what happens from there, because a couple of these roosters I wanna keep because they're barred rocks and they have pretty features. One of them has like a rose comb, and there's a female in there that has a rose comb. So I'm actually hoping that some of the eggs that we incubated will be from that bloodline. So fingers crossed we'll have some of those showing up. But you know, I have a couple of Millie Fleur roosters running around and things like that that I really don't plan on continuing to breed. So I think we'll just go ahead and move all these guys over and make room for the broilers. So pretty much everybody in that tractor I want to keep except for the one Millie Fleur rooster. So let's go over here to this other one and see what's going on here. So there aren't as many roosters in here as I thought. There's only 2, I think, in here. There's a barred rock and like, I'm really not sure what the other one is. He's a mutt of some sort. So I really could probably just let these 2 roosters out, let the Millie Fleur rooster out, and then bring all the girls over here. Hey! Okay, so that went fairly well. Hopefully the females will figure out their pecking order and everything will be good. No chickens were harmed in the making of that video. However, I tripped on one of the wires where the muscadines were, and I believe I pulled a muscle. So that's gonna be it for today. I hope y'all have a great week. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you for stopping by the Big Bear Homestead. God bless. Have a nice day.